On a night when the Democratic presidential nomination appears to have been decided, the frontrunner has become involved in a BC issue. That's the focus of NewsHour Insight tonight. Here's Deb.
Well, Tony, it looks like the U.S. has taken another big step towards having its first black presidential candidate and possibly a black presidential candidate with a female vice presidential candidate. As it stands right now, latest reports say that Barack Obama has clinched the Democratic nomination as delegates fall into place in Montana and South Dakota. He's holding a victory celebration tonight in St. Paul, Minnesota. Why there? That's where the Republican convention will be held in September. Something of an in-your-face message to John McCain. And what about Hillary Clinton? She still hasn't conceded, but her camp knows that it is essentially over. More to the point, she's reportedly told supporters that she will consider a vice presidential offer from Obama if he asks. It was during the campaign for votes in Montana that Obama waded into a cross-border battle between that state and the BC government. The fight is over a proposed coal mine in the Flathead Valley in the southeastern corner of the province. Public pressure has already forced the energy giant British Petroleum to abandon plans to drill for coal bed methane there. But the coal mine is still alive, as is the opposition in Montana to a plan they fear would pollute the Flathead River and part of Glacier National Park. And the man who might be president is now on their side. Keith Baldry reports.
It is a place most British Columbians have never seen, but like so much of this province, the Flathead Valley in the southeast corner of BC may be remote, but it's also indisputably beautiful and pristine. Its natural splendor is home to a rich variety of wildlife such as grizzly bears, but there is a proposal on the drawing board to create an open-pit mine here. That has many people furious, notably those who live just south of here in Montana. They're worried pollution from the mine could flow downstream and destroy their own network of rivers and streams. Suddenly, though, they have a new ally, the Democratic Party nominee himself.
And we cannot have George Bush.
Yesterday, Barack Obama's campaign announced the candidate, trying to pick up support from Montana Party delegates, was throwing his support behind local politicians who fought the mine proposal with a heated passion. An email from Obama's spokesman, Max Chandler, released yesterday read, Barack Obama supports efforts by Senators Max Baucus, John Tester, as well as Governor Brian Schweitzer to stop the Cline Mine. The Flathead River and Glacier National Park are treasures that should be conserved for future generations. Getting the support of such a high-powered ally as Barack Obama is clearly good news for BC-based environmentalists who've been fighting this mine proposal.
Well, I think it's really significant. It's also a fantastic opportunity for the Flathead to get the coverage that it deserves.
I think it's great that he's supporting the efforts of British Columbians to protect this very, very important treasured landscape.
Opponents of the mine say the proposal simply doesn't square with the BC government's claim it's embarking on a new green agenda towards fighting climate change.
It seems really inconsistent for the government to be supporting further fossil fuel production in BC when we have them making commitments around climate change targets and greenhouse gas emissions.
But Environment Minister Barry Penner cautions no decision has been made whether or not to approve the mine and says an environmental assessment process must be allowed to play out.
But the process itself is still in the early stages, and it hasn't even gone into the formal assessment yet. There's still quite a ways to go before that happens, if it even does happen.
In any event, Barack Obama has now upped the stakes considerably. If he's truly dead set against the mine, Premier Gordon Campbell may find himself dealing with another high-profile U.S. politician. First it was California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, but now it is the man who may just be the next president of the United States.
And one more note about his potential running mate. There are reports tonight that Barack Obama has asked a man named Jim Johnson to begin research on potential vice presidents. And he does have experience. Johnson did the same thing for former Democratic nominees John Kerry and Walter Mondale. Tony, that's tonight's Insight.